We are going to start by putting a tack right in the center of the quilt. You don't want to put it on the thicker part, otherwise the tack will fall out. You place tacks about this far apart, tack it all the way across the board. So you want to make sure that the quilt is pulled tight and that the quilt is lined up about halfway with the quilting frame, so we get enough room to pin down the rest of the quilt. So I put my leg against the end of the quilting frame, and then I'm going to place that clamp, and I'm just going to twist that until that is tight. We're going to now do that same thing we did with pinning this end of the quilt on all the other two sides of the quilt. So we lay down these sheets, and then we're going to take a pin on each of the four corners of that, and we're just going to pin that white sheet down so that it doesn't move. Then you'll take a colored chalk. We're going to mark in each of those circles. So after you're done marking the entire quilt, then we're just going to remove all of the pins, and then we'll take these white sheets off of here. So now I take my threader, and I'm going to take my needle, and I'm going to place the threader right here through the needle, like that. Then I'll take the end of my yarn, and I'm going to also place it on the threader like so. Now I'm going to take that needle and I'm going to pull it off the threader so that it comes onto the yarn like that. And I'm just going to get enough yarn, about an arm's length I'd say, like this. And I'm going to fold that in half, and then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut that so that those two pieces are even, like that. So we take our double threaded yarn needle, and I'm going to make a quarter stitch through the quilt. Place the needle through the quilt, and then I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to find that needle underneath the quilt, and I'm going to push up with my finger until it comes up like that. Then I'm going to take the yarn and I'm going to pull it through. And now I'm going to tie a square knot to start. So you'll just do a double knot like that. So the second and the remaining knots with the rest of this yarn is we take our needle and place it underneath the thread here. And then we will take that needle and place it through the middle of the yarn like that, and then pull it tight. And you're going to do that same thing 2 times. You always want to make sure you do a double knot. And you're going to continue that same knot throughout the quilt. So once you've done an entire row, you're going to come through with your scissors, and you're just going to cut in between each of these knots, right in the middle. And then you always want to make sure that they're all the same length. So here we'll just trim that one so that's the same length. So once you have about 5 rows done, all horizontal across, roll the quilt in so it's easier to reach the center. The clamps here. And then we're going to remove the tacks up to where we want to roll to. And then we take the quilt and we just roll it from the end underneath like this. And you want to make sure you keep it tight as you roll it across. Then we're going to take those clamps again, and we're just going to reset those clamps down.